Hello, this is page 156, lesson 32 homework. This is the homework, so please make sure you're turning to the correct page or you are going to be on the wrong page and writing on the wrong one. So number 1 says circle the expression equivalent to the difference between 7 and 4 divided by fifth. The word equivalent means equal, so I'm writing the word equal to the difference. Difference means to subtract or the answer to a subtraction problem. And they want me to subtract 7 minus 4 and divide it by 1/5. Okay, so I'm looking for the one that says 7 minus 4 divided by 1/5, and this is the only one that does that. This one says 7 plus. We're not adding, we're subtracting, so that is incorrect. I'm crossing that out. This one is 7 minus 4, and they divided by 5, but not 1/5, so that is incorrect. And this one is 1/5 divided by. The order is important, so please make sure that you're paying attention to that for this one, especially division. Multiplication, not so much. Adding, not so much. Subtraction and division, you need to pay attention to where it is. This divided by a fifth is at the end and not in the front. For the next problem we have here, they ask you to circle the expressions equivalent. Remember, word equivalent means equal to. So I'm looking for an answer that is equal to 42 divided by the sum. Remember, 42 divided by the sum. Sum means to add of 2/3 and 3/4. So I'm dividing 42 divided by 2/3 and 3/4. This is the only one that shows me that it's correct. This one puts 2/3 and 3/4 first. Remember, I said for division and subtraction, you cannot have division afterwards. For this one, says 42 divided by 2/3, which is not correct. That's not the order they asked you to put it in. And for this one is also correct because it's 42 and you're dividing it, so everything is under 2/3 plus 3/4. So both of these are right. For number 3, we have fill in the chart by writing the equivalent. Again, the word equivalent means equal. Numerical expression or expression in word form. So you're writing this time in words instead of writing it the equation on the side like you did in the problem set. So we have 1/4 as much as the sum. Sum means to add 3 and 1/8 plus 4/5, which is what they did here. So that is correct. And 1/4, the number 1/4, make sure to put it in the right place, 1/4. For the second one, we have 3 and 1/8 plus, so this means sum. And then it says divided by 5, so I can just write divided by 5. So we're going to use the sum and divided by. So we have the sum of, we're pretty much copying what they have here, the sum of 3 and 1/8, right? 3 and 1/8 and 4/5, and we're dividing it by 5. Over here we have multiply 3/5 by 5/8, so I am highlighting the word multiply 3/5 by 5/8. So that's what I have there. And then it says have the product. The word have means that you are dividing by 2. So that's where you get your divided by 2 from. This one you have 1/6 times. Times you can say as much as, you can even use the word times, which is fine, or multiply. Any of those words might show up. Multiply 4 and 8/10 minus 1/2. So we have here, we're writing 1/6, and you see the multiplication sign, so we're multiplying. You can write as much as, or you can write times or multiply. Any of those work. I'm just exposing you to more words so that you know, just in case they pop up in a test. So the difference means subtract, so we did that. We subtracted 4 and 8/10 and 1/2. So difference means to subtract, and that's the word I want to use when I am subtracting, difference. That's the word they will use most of the time. They don't usually use subtract. Next, you have the difference between. Notice that you are subtracting again. So I have the difference between what? 8 and the quotient of 1/2 and 9. So we are subtracting the difference of 8 And the quotient means the answer to a division problem. So that's why you'll see 1/2 and 9 as a division problem. Now for number 4, they ask you to compare the expressions 3a and 3b without evaluating. Identify the expression that is greater. So we have 3a right here and 3b right here. The expressions is 1/4 times 3 and 1/8 plus 4/5. And over here we have 3 and 1/8 plus 4/5 divided by 5. Just looking at it. This one is a multiplication sign. This one is a division sign. Every time you multiply, your number is getting bigger. Every time you divide, your number is going to get smaller because you're dividing it between many people. So we have 3a is bigger because both expressions have 3 and 1/8 plus 4/5, but 3b divides it by 5, while 3a only divides it by 4. This makes 3a bigger. If you have another way to explain what I just said, then you can use your way. You don't have to write this whole entire thing. Use your own words, try it yourself. But if you can't think of anything, then write this one down. Okay? Now we're going to turn to the next page, page 157. Please make sure you're on the correct page. Right here, it asks you to evaluate. Evaluate means to solve the following expressions. We have 11 minus 6. 11 minus 6 is equal to 5. Might help for you guys to see that. Divided by 1/6. Remember, when we're dividing, we're going to flip our expression. So we flipped our division sign to a multiplication sign. We flipped 1/6 to 6/1. 5 times 6 is equal to 30. 1 times 1 is 1, so you get 30 divided by 1. What is 30 divided by 1? 30 divided by 1 is equal to 30. Over here, we have 9/5 times 4 times 1/6. So what we're going to do is we're multiplying 4 times 1, which is equal to 4, and 1 times 6 is equal to 6. So you can leave it as 4/6. Now you're going to multiply straight across. So 9 times 4 is equal to 36, and 5 times 6 is equal to 30. So you have 36 divided by 30. So I have 30 as my divisor, 36 as my dividend. 30 can go into 36 one time. 36 minus 30 is equal to 6. So our remainder is 6. Our denominator is 30, because you're going to bring this 30 right over here. Now, notice that 6 and 30, you can actually divide the top and bottom number by 6 to simplify, and you get 1 and 1/5 as your final answer. Okay, over here we have 1/10 divided by 5 divided by 1/2. What we're going to solve first is parentheses. Parentheses is always first, boys and girls. So our division sign is going to flip to a multiplication. 1/2 is going to flip to 2. So we have 5 times 2, which is equal to 10. And this 1/10 stays the same because we haven't done anything yet to it. So 1/10 divided by 10, we're going to flip the division sign to what? A multiplication sign. So flip to multiplication. 10 is going to flip to 1/10. 1/10 times 1/10. 1 times 1 is 1. 10 times 10 is 10. So our final answer is equal to 1/10. Over here, we have 3/4 times 2/5 times 4/3. When you have a multiplication problem like this, you basically can multiply straight across. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. And the denominator, 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60. So that's what I did here. I wrote 3 times 2 is equal to 6. And then I have 4 times 5, which is equal to 20. And then I just multiplied over here just to give you guys more steps to see it more clearly. Then I multiplied 6 times 4, which is equal to 24. And then I multiplied 20 times 3, which is equal to 60. So now you have 24 divided by 60. I noticed that I can simplify the top and bottom number, so I simplified by 6. So when I simplified by 6, I got 24 divided by 6 is 4, and 60 divided by 6 is 10. So we have 4/10, and I can still simplify by 2. So when I divide 4 divided by 2, I get 1, and 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5, so I get 1/5. Over here, they ask for you to also do the same thing, but in word form to multiplication form. So we have 50 divided by, we're going to put 50 divided by the difference. Difference means to subtract. So I am subtracting 3/4 and 5/8, and that's what I did here. And what I did was I solved the denominator first, these problems on the bottom first, because this would essentially be in parentheses. So we have 3/4 and 5/8. Remember when we were looking for the common denominator, you need to do that here too. So you multiply times 2 times 2 because the common denominator is 8, right? Because the multiples of 4 and 8, you're going to get 4, and for 8, you're going to get 8. So my common multiple is 8. So that's why I'm trying to get my denominator to equal to 8. So 4 times 2 is equal to 8, and 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So we have 6/8 minus 5/8. Brought that right over. 6 minus 5 is 1. 8 minus 8 is, oh, you don't subtract the denominator. So 8 stays the same. You have 50 divided by 1/8. I'm going to switch it to this so I can see it more clearly. My division sign flips to a multiplication sign, and my 1/8 flips to 8 over 1. So 50 times 8 is equal to 400. 1 times 1 is 1. You would get 400 over 1, but 400 divided by 1 is still equal to 400. Okay, that is our answer. For number 6, we have Leah sending 32 birthday party invitations. She gives 5 invitations to her mom to give to family members. Lee mails a third of the rest, and then she takes a break to walk her dog. So write a numerical expression to describe how many invitations Lee has already mailed. So we have 32 minus 5, and right here we have divided by 3. So that is our expression because they're asking you what is the numerical expression. They're not asking you to solve anything so far. You want to draw the tape diagram, you may. And for this one, they ask you which expression matches how many invitations still need to be sent out. So again, we have 32 minus 5. This one is the only one that makes sense. And that is all for today. Please let me know if you have any questions in class tomorrow, and we can work on it.